Morning, everyone. Stay very close. Closer together.
Yeah, can you get me?
Starting over there and then working away.
Look together. Okay. Starting from here to the other side, so we all have.
And look here, down here. One more.
Get in front.
Look over here, please. One more left, please. Here.
Ja, hier please. Das ist ein bisschen kompliziert.
Here, this way.
Ist nur klein.
Okay. Thank you.
Please look up on the right.
Now the actors.
You can stay over there. You're in the middle.
Look up, please.
Over here, please. More left, please. Here.
And then what please? On the right, look up on the right. Here for me. Thank you.
Please left again. Left again, please. Here. Young boy here. Everybody this way, please. This way. Straight ahead.
Yeah, look up, please.
And one more on the right. Look up.
Left, please. Left.
Just the four actors.
Just the four actors together. The four actors together.
Okay. That's good. Can you put us please down here?
Now on the right. Look up for me. Thank you.
And more here, left, the left corner here. You are left corner.
Here, please. Look at me.
Here.
Thank you.
Over here, please again.
So only seamless. To you stay and you come.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Look up on the right for me.
Look here, please.
Yeah. One more here. Can you look up, please?
One more for us.
It's just one facing down.
Thank you, please.
Here, please.
One look.
Now last on the right. One look up. Thank you.
And left again, please.
Look up, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here.
Okay.
Here, please.
The very left.
Thank you. Seamless? Okay, thank you. And you can sit here. Okay.
Look up, please.
One step closer. The fight.
Yeah, on the right.
Look for me here, please.
One more time, center.
One more on the right.
Put your hands in this direction. Come here.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
And miss.
Can you come, please? Thank you. Here, please.
Left, please. Okay, one more straight ahead, please. And here, please.
And one on the right for me. Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
On the right.
One look here, please.
One more.
And for me, look at me, look at me. Thank you.
More left, please.
Look up at me.
And here. Thank you.
Look at me, please. Over here. One more on the right. Yeah.
One. Okay.
Look up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Good, left here, yes. Right hand facing this way. Look here, over here, please.
Look up. Please look up. Up.
Look up, please.
And turn on the right without hands.
Yeah,
Look
and
at me,
here.
look at me. Thank you.
Look up, please.
Over here, please. Down here. And left again. Here, left. Here, yes. Thank you.
One time at me, look at me.
And then one look here. Smiling. Enjoy. Left again. Thank you. Here again. One more time.
One last look here, please.
One more on the right. Yeah, nice smile.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Min Bahadur Bam from Nepal has already won international awards, and now he can hope for a bear in Berlin. His visually stunning film Shambhala is set in the heart of the Nepalese Himalayas. Pema leads a polygamous marriage with Tashi and his two younger brothers. Tashi disappears without a trace. She resolutely sets off to search for him in the wild landscape of the Himalayas. It becomes a journey to the spiritual meaning of life, to self-knowledge and self-liberation, going far beyond the search for her husband.
Tashi, sorry. Turn. Kalite.
Good morning and welcome to the press conference for the first ever Nepalese film in the Berlinale competition. Congratulations. The title is Shambhala, and I'm glad to welcome the guests here on the table for this press conference. Starting from your left with the cinematographer of the film, Aziz Zambakiev. We have several actors from the movie cast, and next on your left is Tenzing Dalla. And Thingley Lamo. Is here in Berlinale with his second feature. He's a writer, director, and producer of Shambhala, Min Bahadur Bam. Also starring in the film, Karma Vangyal Gurung. Actor, but also she will kindly help us with some translation today, Tsering Choden. And finally, here on my right, Sonam Topden. Please, if you already have questions, we start here with a... Yes.
Hello. Thank you for this remarkable film. In my opinion, it was one of the best cases in this year's Berlinale. First of all, I'd like to ask you how much difficult it was to make the filming in such harsh conditions in Himalaya and everything, and especially, additionally, in connection with all this very harsh life and very difficult life this population have in almost primitive conditions of living. And secondly, how much you think this self-exploration journey of both the monk character and the main actress character gives symbolically some of the most important remarks on Mahayana Buddhism. Because this is, let's say, a film essay on Mahayana and Vajrayana Buddhism. Describes all the different levels of, let's say, revelation inside a Mahayana practitioner. I'd like to make a comment on that especially. All of you. Thank you. So, thank you.
Maybe we start from the condition of shooting and the difficulties and the environment you were working with.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you. So, though it was not easy because of the landscape, the region where we shot this film, but of course it was lots of challenges in terms of altitude sickness, and it was really difficult situation in terms of weather, and there was other logistic problems. But besides that, me and my team, we were so happy to face those difficulties because me and my team were very much aware about these difficult situations in the mountain. And also, personally, I learned so much working in these Himalayas because there was really, really great energies that I could sense during the shooting of this film. So actually for me and for my team, it was very wonderful experience rather than having all those difficulties. Thank you.
And then the second part of the question was about a kind of Buddhism that you might be more familiar with. No.
Is it for me or
Yeah,
for Pimo?
I think it was mostly for you.
But I didn't. I'm really sorry, but I was focused on the first question. I really didn't get your second. Is it? Sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering how much this mystical. Sorry. I was wondering how much this mystical, esoteric journey of the main character and also the monk character somehow reflects the different levels of initiation inside Mahayana practitioner in Buddhism and everything, Mahayana and Vajrayana.
Okay, I don't know how much of a Mahayana I know, but for me, I think the experience. I'm really sorry.
Could you please?
I'm really sorry.
No, sorry.
최다
maybe
람직 돌와 디 가리 잡고 가리 통송사 단 낭배 최기 전다지기 얼와 디다 아니 그나 람기 걸라 잡고 가리 통송사
낭배 최당 디골라.
단다 때무기 람 그런 기타 캐릭터기 람지 도어와
알라 디.
Ming, maybe you want to comment on how you yourself as a...
Okay, so let me explain from the character's point of view, because when I wrote this character, it was pretty much my personal association with these two characters of Pima and the monk Karma, because this was very much personal from the age when I was very young, because I was always trying to discover and explore the feminine side that was inside me, because being a man, I was always had this dilemma about to deal with my feminine energy that most of the men has, but sometimes being a man, frankly speaking, we always don't give more attention to this feminine energy, and which is, I believe, it's more spiritual rather than the energy that we have masculine side being a man. So I was always trying to deal with this masculine energy and this feminine energy. So my intention as a writer and as a director was more focused to portray this main protagonist, female character, driven by feminine energy, which is very much closer to spiritual path that most of the time we really don't pay attention on it. But for me, as an artist, as a writer, I was very much aware that, okay, so if I make this female character stubborn, yet at the same time, it could be really a metaphor of my self-explorations towards this spiritual path, whatever you were saying about Vajrayana or Mahayana, that is related to, very much related to Buddhism. That was my intention as a writer and as a director, to portray this character of Pima, the female protagonist, and at the same time, male character who is a monk. So that was my intention, to balance between these two characteristics who represent masculine energy and feminine energy at the same time, that cross over each other towards spiritual and materialistic life within the story. So that was my intention. Thank you.
Please.
Hello, I come from Mexico, and when we hear in Mexico, Nepal, we say, what is that? That's so far away for us. But what connects us is the spirituality that we in our country had. But my first question was, what was the fountain of your inspiration? Okay, because you're telling us how you were dealing with feminine and masculine. What was your inspiration? Someone maybe in your families, maybe someone that you know? This is my first question. And just to
Let's
be clear,
do one question at a time, because as we see, is always the second question.
Shambhala. Shambhala is a synonym like reincarnation. Is that Shambhala? And just to be sure, as many people from Nepal are trying to leave the places where they live and to go to the city. Is that a phenomenon in Nepal? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Actually, when you talk about the inspiration of this story, so when I was a kid, I was around 12 or 13 years old, I started practice meditations, and I was following the path of my parents. And from that time, I had this subconscious feeling inside me that was coming towards me about the rebirth, and I was dreaming about, just randomly started thinking about my previous life. So from that time, I started to write a poem about reincarnations. And later on, when I was in high school, I started writing a story, and I was always thinking maybe one day I will make this story into cinema. And after my first feature film, and I started writing a script. And later on, when I went to this place, because I wanted to check either that was my dream or reality, because the impression that I had in my head from a long time back, from my childhood, and the location where I went with my first draft of a script having on my hand, and I was totally amazed, and I realized it was not the dream. I was totally right, and I was very much closer to my imaginations and my dream, my hallucinations about rebirth. And then I decided, okay, this could be very interesting cinema. But I don't know for the larger audience, but I was pretty much sure about myself, okay, so this could be very personal story that I have to tell to the world through the cinema. So that was the biggest inspiration from this film. And also, I would say, all these characters in the film that you have seen, from the young kid, from Pema, and all those husbands, actually, it's all of them, they are my own reflections, because I left home when I was a kid like him. I had a dream to become a filmmaker, so I left my hometown. This is the reason where we shot the film. I grew up there, and then I left. And actually, coming back to your second questions, we people who lives in the mountain, for us, journey and traveling is part of our life. We're always traveling towards finding better life, at the beginning, as I believe, as being a student of anthropology, what I realized and what I learned, we are always struggling to find the better way to live a better life and to find the better space. But at the end of the day, finally, personally, I realized the place where we were was better than the place we are looking for. So that was the conflict, and that was the dilemma of myself as a writer and director. So in reality, of course, people from mountain, they are always looking and moving forwards. Shambhala itself is not a reincarnation. The literal meaning of Shambhala is a mythical heaven where there is no sadness, no sorrow, and it's full of happiness, full of liberations, and it's full of love that represent the word Shambhala. And also, one of the religious meaning of Shambhala is the place where the last Buddha will born.
Here, please.
Oh, my name is Mahari Segit, African Refugee News. Maybe I'm the only one who saw the film twice, because I saw it 2 days ago for work and this morning for pleasure. And I tell you, it's fantastic. But the question goes to Aziz. You came here 10 years ago. You took the Silver Bear for artistic contribution. And how difficult it was for you to film this guy, the small boy, because he's really the needle of the film. I love him. If you can tell us more about it, about your photography.
Yes, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Must to say that with this amazing guy, it was a big pleasure working together. But working with Min is very special. So because he's giving not only artistic challenge, but also it's a dangerous for the life. Last time he brought me to the crazy mountains. It was, must to say, this November we are celebrating 10th anniversary. And last time he brought me to the very exotic region, and almost I supposed to die there. And this time he brought me to the Himalaya, more dangerous. So I really thankful to, first of all, to Min, and the second to the people who is living on that place, to all the actors, because what we actually wanted to do is just, first of all, is observing the actors, observing the space. And that was pretty easy because we were doing rehearsals. We did many rehearsals before we came on the set. So, and that was really easy. And the second is that working with the children's, because in the first movie we also worked with the children's, is also we understood that we don't have much time actually, because it's a kid, and he has a very limited energy, very limited attention. So that's why we were like super intensive, and that was a kind of jewelry work, saving his energy, saving his mood. So, but I'm really thankful to this amazing guy. Yeah, he did brilliant. Yes. Thank you.
Carsten Bayer, RBB. Thanks for this beautiful film. I have a question to the director about the ending, because to me it seemed like almost like a double ending. Like when Pema does this journey and she comes into the mountains and she finds this cave with all these messages that Tashi has left her. I thought, okay, it's over. She's dying there, and then it seems like it's going on, and she's back home, and he's coming back, and he puts her to this test with the bow and arrow. I was wondering, is this really like a consecutive order for you, or are these like two double endings that you sort of put to the audience to sort of decide?
Okay, it's very difficult to explain for the directors about the ending. I can imagine, but personally, if you ask me, I would say it's my intention, my wish for the audience to understand in open-ending meanings that would more relate to their own imaginations. And when you talk about the scenes about the bow and arrow, and afterwards we try to give the impressions to the audience about the state of the level of Pema's spirituality and her openness and her self-realizations about her own life and about her journey. So I would say it's rather audience go for open ending, open imaginations, whatever they prefer. But I heard these questions from few other friends as well. So some of them, they had this impression about maybe at the end of the film, Pema is died or it's something, it's very sad. But for me, it's very happy ending. It gives me very hope towards the life, towards the character's life actually, towards her own journey. Because for me, my intention to put at the end of this film is, it doesn't matter if Pema finds the solution of her quest or not, because it's more important for this protagonist to find herself. Because for me, inner peace and inner happiness, finding yourself inside us is more beautiful things in life rather than finding something outside, which is for me, it's very temporary. Finding ourselves inside us is more permanent, which leads us into happiness. That's what I believe. Thank you.
Hi, Seray from Istanbul, a film critic. Congratulations. I don't know the actor and actresses is professional or not, but they are very, very successful as you're directing. My question is a bit, relevant what you answered. It can be, this film can be very orientalist, very exotic, and with these all cultural, spiritual, and the religious things and geography in it. But I saw in a very simple way love, women's story, and a kind of liberation story. Coming from Pema, and I was thinking that. I am sure that you also inspired from Nepalese stories, fables, tales, because it was a kind of tale coming from Nepal. But polyandrous, marriages. When we think that at the end of the film, we believe that she will rebuild a new life without man, but started with, poly men. Can I hear more comment on it? Thank you.
I think the question was what
from me or from my actors? Okay. Do you want to have my opinion from my actors? Oh, okay. So, if you talk about the polyandry practice, actually, I would say that we have these unique traditions in this region, which is called polyandry. It was practiced by most of the people in the Himalayan regions, but nowadays, slowly, the young generations, they are not following properly. So, but still some of the people, they are following this tradition. And what was another question? I didn't.
I think the question, could you be a little bit more specific about the question? Yeah?
That's okay. Thank you so much.
The general rule is the shorter the questions, the easier it's for them.
Yeah, because I thought it is particular objective questions, or in general it's a comment. I get confused.
Yeah, that's confused. Please.
I'm Meenakshi Shede. Magnificent performances, magnificent film. I'd like to ask each of the actors, Tenzin Dala, Tinli Lamo, Sonam Topten, Karma
Probably
Wangyal.
not, because there are many.
Yeah, each of them, the same question.
Yeah.
Basically, each of you has had some experience, and of course Sonam is a wonderful musician. Some experience already, but this is your big international acting feature. Can you tell us what the biggest challenge was at that insane height, frostbite, all that? What was the biggest challenge of acting? Secondly, did that experience of working this film transform you in any way? Terry, you want to translate in case I didn't follow?
Yeah.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
What was the biggest challenge of acting in this film? And did the experience of acting in this film transform themselves in any way, personally?
Who feels to jump on this question?
Yeah, Dala.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Meenakshi, for your question. The challenges that we faced at 4,500 to 6,000 meters, of course, the terrain itself, and particularly if you ask about the acting challenges, working with Dawa was really challenging. He was so natural in his performances. And the horse, of course, that you see in the poster. And the second part of your question was about, did it transform us as an individual? Vast landscape, they have a tendency to show you how small you are in this world. And definitely it did put us in the map as tiny as a mere speck of dust or a dot in the universe. So I think that's the inward transformation that I felt in that vast, beautiful landscape. Thank you for your question, Meenakshi.
Hello, everyone. So the challenges, of course, just like Dindala just mentioned, we were shot on 4,500 to 6,000 meters altitude. It was very tough, and few of us team, we hiked like 3 to 4 days up in the mountain where there is no visible road. But when you are there, the landscape and everything, especially the people there, was so beautiful that you forget everything, all the hardships. And when you talk about acting, if you have a beautiful director like me, then I think like everyone can act. Yeah. So that's why I would like to thank Mindai for that.
I think we go to the next question, otherwise it's too... Thank you.
Claudia Schulmerich, Frankfurt am Main, Weltexpresso. Ich habe eine Frage an die...
I would like to ask a question to the 3 male directors, a question to the 3 male actors, and I'm waiting for you to get the interpretation. A question to the male actors. Okay, can you all hear English now? Thank you. In this film, did you find the role, the male role you wanted to play, or would you, each one of you, have preferred to play one of the other men in the film? Including the boy, mind you.
Maybe someone else want to answer while we wait for the translation?
Thank you for your question. It's a very interesting question. To be part of Min's film, it's an honor in itself, and I was thrilled when I read the script, and I would have played no one else, to be very honest. But thank you.
Okay, if you ask me these questions, when he arrived on location, me and my cinematographer and Terry, our first assistant director, and with 2 other assistant director, one of the guy, he is sitting there, and the other assistant director, we had doubt, because frankly speaking, at the beginning, we approached him to play the role for the eldest brother, but when he arrived, physically he looks little younger than the second brother. So we had this doubt, maybe we have to change the position. But after a few days, let's say after 2 or 3 days, right, if I am not wrong, when I asked him to ride the horse, immediately we could feel his body language, and then I decided, okay, let's stick on the first choice. That's okay, he will play the elder brother's role. So that was my experience and my decision that was taken among with my team members. Thank you.
Anyone else want to comment on the role they had in the film? Or?
All right, so for me, being the eldest son in my family, I was very interested to play Tashi's role. But at the same time, I was a monk before, like 10, 12 years back, I was a monk before in Nepal, so I could also relate to karma. And after thinking for a while and asking Mindai multiple times, I thought, okay, I'll stay in karma's role. Yeah, but I was very interested in Tashi's role as well.
Why exactly do you remember? Because you wanted to ride the horse.
Yeah, I love riding horses, and in the film, Karma doesn't know how to ride, and he was very scared. But offset, I was riding horse all the time.
And please,
Yeah, hi, Carlos Grau from Spain for
If you want, yeah.
He wanted to play the eldest son.
That was more difficult, I'd say.
Sorry?
No, you don't have the translation on the headphones.
Thomas.
So I think the answer is a little different from what you were asking, but he thought like in the scene what role he did not want to play was when he had to drink and get drunk. But other than that, he was fine with his role.
Please.
Hi, thank you very much for this achievement. This is really an achievement. I mean, regardless of the awards, this is a unique film. I'm interested in small details because the colleagues already asked almost everything. In the traditions, when you join the heads, like in a way of saying hi, is there like some seconds you need like to wait? Or if it's too long, it's like this, how that works, I'm curious. And regarding the scarves, I found that really beautiful. What that means, I like that a lot. Thank you.
I think it depends on who the person is. If it's somebody you like, you may touch the forehead longer. It's just a joke. No, actually, there's no particular, timing. You just touch forehead, and there's no like few seconds or more seconds or less seconds.
More the affection, longer the touch.
About the scarf. The scarf. Khada.
Scarf is a form of respect. It's a silk
Scarf.
It's a silk offering. We usually offer it to Rinpoches, the learned lamas, and we use that scarf in weddings as a form of showing respect, gratitude, and
any form of auspicious occasion, we use the scarf. It's called khada.
So we are running almost out of time, but I would like to ask one final question to Karma. First, I ask him to promise us that he will behave in school. And second, his impression of being here in Berlin. He can speak in the microphone. It's nice if we hear his voice. Yes.
Tibetan Basa.
Nga dela lemne petsoa ki puchungsong dela lemne minda ki puchungso te ngai sam na dela shakpa nimangas dera te tira laga te sams.
So he's saying he's very happy to be here, and he's just here for 5 days, and he was wishing that he can stay more.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming to this press conference, and congratulations again on the beautiful Shambhala. Thank you.